So what about male students? Did you get any feedback or?
Well, there was the brothers, you know, the Muslim students were helping as well. They were extremely supportive. They had no problem, you know. Well, the most important thing for me was, will Muslim women feel comfortable about that? And as long as they confirmed that yes, they wanted to do that because they wanted to reach out and express themselves and, you know, reach out sisterhood, then to me that was a green light.
Yes.
You know, and I had no male students negative response. No.
That's fair. So what happened after?
Well, the day was very exciting. We ended up the day with a cultural evening that I organized, and the theme was Canadian identity. I invited a group of Aboriginal people from Hamilton, and we talked about a lot of issues, including, you know, Islamophobia. And then, I don't know, a couple of days after, something like that, there was some vandalism on the door of my office, which was really nasty, you know. And it came on top of a few criticism I had encountered before and after the Hijab day, and really that bothered me a lot.
What kind of criticism? What did you
well,
hear
the crazy leftist one.
That would always be called one thing or another, if not left,
well, I know that,
right,
but I also, I mean, I found myself that I found that I had to justify myself about that a lot. People accuse me of several things. Feminists accuse me of encouraging a means of female oppression, which was not.
Why do they feel it's oppression? Those who has that opinion,
like
what do they base this on?
Like I said, the issue around the hijab is not something that I was targeting at all. What I was targeting was some women, because sometimes they wear a particular sign, they're targeted. The reason for wearing the hijab, to me, is personal to those women. They are the ones who are coming forward and tell people why they wear it or not, and not all of them wear it. Maybe I'm sure in some cases some of them are forced to wear it. I have never known anyone like that, but I don't doubt it. I cannot speak for themselves. But the thing is, in this country, I really have never met any Muslim woman here who was forced to wear it.
Like, what bothers me, you know, in a country where we respect freedom of expression, and, you know, if a lady decides to wear the hijab out of, you know, her face, and she decides to do that, why does it bother others? Like, you know, this reaction, you know, I remember, 4 or 5 years ago, there was a case in front of the Supreme Court where a young lady decided to walk topless. And they said, well, but it's freedom of expression.
I know.
And the court ruled for her, even though we don't see every woman walking topless, but the courts ruled. Why is it when a woman decides, instead of she doesn't want to walk topless, she wants to be covered, it's a big issue?
Well, that's a good question. You know, I'm still puzzled by a lot of things along that line. I mean, well, I'm not going to say anything about walking around topless, but besides, well, obviously,
I disagree with it, by the way, but I'm just saying we are in a society that, you know, that the court ruled for her that she can walk topless. But we respect that. We have to respect that,
and I understand. And to walk around topless, well, that's nice. But also, I remember in this country, a few years ago, a pedophile went to the Supreme Court to fight for the right to possess child pornography. I mean,
and you know what I mean? And art.
Well, no, there were also pictures. So basically,
I know, but he said it was for him.
Yeah, but the thing is, my question might be a bit simplistic, but I'd like to ask, what's wrong with you people? Precisely, why would you, give some attention and defense to, for instance, a pedophile, and then be afraid of women wearing their heads? It's completely illogical. But the problem is, and I think we need to talk about that problem very seriously, is that yes, it is linked to the 9/11 attacks, and it is linked with the media portraying Muslims all the time, every day, as evil people, as terrorists, and they're making people afraid of them. They're using fear and ignorance, and that I can accept.
And it's sad, and I look at the effort you've done. It's a great way to introduce that they are normal people, normal ladies, they're students, they're going about their life, and it's not fair to put the extra pressure on them just because she's wearing a hijab or something like this.
No, it's not fair.
What about the university administration? Were they supporting generally?
Well, they didn't oppose it.
Yeah.
You know, I wrote to Peter George a couple of times, and well, he was away at the time and everything, but I don't think he did. You know, he didn't oppose that. You know, so no, they, you know, I mean, they allowed us to do that there. So
fair.
you know,
we read in the paper that the police came and investigated. Anything ever came out of this, or did they find
no,
who
they
the
took my
culprit is?
fingerprints.
Yours? Why? Are you the guilty party?
No, because what happened is that I had put some posters of all the cultural evenings I was doing and the hijab day on my door, and they were torn down. So they analyzed the fingerprints, and they wanted to differentiate with me, whatever. But you know,
was the feeling it's a student, a non-student? Do we know, or
I don't know. Well, this was not the first time that someone had this at their door of defile in the French department. I'm actually the third female professor to whom it happened. It happened to two other, not the same message, but very sexist remark. Yes, it happened before.
And it brings us back to the same point you raised earlier. It's support of women and that pressure, and how maybe regardless, you know, we talk about equality, but women are maybe judged differently in this society, and you know, it all boils down to the same thing: is how do you support women and get this equality? And yes, there are some male chauvinists out there, and there are people who, you know, to educate. And I don't know what other ideas do you have to help educate people, you know, that there's nothing to be afraid of.
Well, the thing is, I find out that precisely when you educate people, but in a pleasant way, in a way that's going to reach them. I mean, you can have so many lectures and so many books written. Well, the masses of the people are not going to listen to those lectures. They're not going to read those books. They're going to read magazines, newspaper, maybe some non-fiction or fiction books for that matter. But the only way they can relate to something, and if it's linked with something entertaining. So the cultural evening I was doing at McMaster, and it was not just about Islam. I did Algeria, so North Africa, the Caribbean, Africa, China, Vietnam, Japan, because I was teaching literature from those countries. And my idea is to, why not do that, you know, and record it and broadcast it, you know, because this it's a student-based idea. They come here to present, introduce themselves. I'm a Muslim, I'm African, I'm Caribbean, and I think, and every time I reach out into the community in Hamilton, and I think that, you know, through entertainment, like Hamilton Speaks, that event, because of art, because of entertainment, people came together.
We're running out of time. This is a great topic. I would like to thank you for the efforts you have done, and keep doing the good work, and hopefully maybe we can have you soon on the show, inshallah. And thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.